Certainly just an unbelievable story, something a lot of folks will be talking about today. I want to switch gears a little bit, and something else a lot of us are talking about these days, fuel economy. Now, gas prices up 11% just for the last 3 months. We've all certainly noticed that, so we want to get that fuel economy edge. Joining us this morning is Brian Klaubert. He's with Christian Brothers Automotive. Brian, thanks for being here.
Thanks, Eric. Thanks for bringing me on.
All right, so we're going to play a little bit of fact and fiction this morning. Things you can do, things you can't do. I've always thought that with an air conditioner in the car, if you're not using it, you're getting better fuel economy. True or false?
Well, that depends. Usually it's false. So if you're using your air conditioner, it's because it's hot. If you don't use your air conditioner, your windows are going to be down, and you'll get the same fuel economy with the air conditioner as you would as if your windows were down.
So the drag coming through your windows?
That's right. It changes the wind resistance of the car with the windows down.
All right. So normally we come over to the gas station. We're filling up, we're topping off. Some people think this is some kind of urban legend for us here that if you go during the morning hours, you're going to somehow get more gas than you will during the afternoon when it's warmer.
Right. Well, a lot of people know that fluids expand when they get hot, and so the legend is if you buy your fuel in the morning, you get more bang for your buck. But the thing is that the gasoline is stored underground. So, the ground temperature is about 65 degrees year-round. So if you get your fuel in the morning or in the afternoon, it's going to be the same temperature. So you don't really get a benefit out of doing that.
All right, so this is an old wives' tale, basically.
That's right.
All right. A lot of people, they'll go to the tank, they're going to shut off on us, and then they're going to do it again, and again, and again.
Right.
Commonly known as topping off, of course. We try to get the most possible.
Yeah.
Does that have any impact on your fuel economy, or is this just a no-no?
It has no effect on the engine's fuel economy. It can waste some fuel because, as we just said, gas expands. So you get this 65-degree gas out of the tank when it's during the summertime, and it becomes 95 degrees in the afternoon. Well, a 20-gallon tank will expand 1 gallon with 30 degrees of temperature rise. So it could actually overflow onto the ground. So you'd be spilling your hard-earned money on the ground.
All right. Well, more tips with Brian Klaubert coming up in just a few minutes. Keep it in. It's a very sad story for sure. Keep it with us here on Your Weather Today. Coming up, we have some tips for you. Fueling up your car.
It's simple physics.
Social account, but sign up is free. Restaurants don't have to pay to join, but Living Social gets a cut of their sales. That's it for us here at CNBC, first in business worldwide. Now back over to you.
As we're talking about gasoline prices, they're an all-time high, up 11% over the past 3 months, and many of us approaching or over $4 a gallon. We want to get some tips this morning to make sure you're not spending more than you need to. And behind the wheel this morning is Brian Klaubert. He's joining us from Christian Brothers Automotive. Brian, thanks for being here.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right, so we're talking about here the fact or fiction going slower will actually improve your fuel economy.
That's an absolute fact. Probably the biggest impact you can have on your fuel economy and how much you save on gas is with your own driving habits. So you want to, go at the posted speed limit instead of 10 miles an hour over, and you don't want to be the jackrabbit. You don't want to be racing ahead and stopping.
I can't tell you how often that happens. You go to a stop sign, someone goes 50 up to the stop sign, then slams the brakes and speeds off afterwards.
Basically, you spend money to get fast, and you throw money away when you brake. So if you're racing ahead and then braking, you're throwing money away.
Let's get under the hood here and walk around for a second. A lot of us, we talk about air filters.
Yeah.
And I swear you go to a shop. And these guys, they have a bucket of leaves and dirt that they pour in your air filter and they bring it out and they say, well, you got to get a new one of these.
Right,
Fact or fiction, a clean one will get you better fuel.
This was a big surprise for me. For many years, I said that it was fact, right? It turns out it's fiction. The EPA did a study, and they actually found that you do not get better fuel economy with a clean or versus a dirty air filter.
Now, with this car, it's a little harder to get to, but with an older car like this, we can easily see what this looks like in the vehicle.
So on this car here, here's the air filter here. Now this driver, they've already replaced their air filter. A dirty air filter will reduce your acceleration and performance, but it turns out it won't reduce your fuel economy.
I'm intrigued by this. I thought for sure that you had to have a clean one.
I did too for many years, but just as doctors are constantly learning new things and they have to read the trade journals and everything, and one of the things you're going to see is for the next 5 years, you're still going to hear that it gives you better mileage because it takes time for people to learn new things.
All right, and one last stop over here. We're talking about tires.
15 seconds. So you know what, Brian? We're going to have to hit this final question.
Okay.
A little bit later, we're going to talk about overinflating and underinflating your tires. If you have any other questions for Brian, hit us up on Twitter or Facebook or email us, abramsandbettis@weather.com. Your local names are coming up next.
We build tires, but not tires like anybody else. We build Cooper tires for people, not just cars. People who are chauffeurs and shuttle pilots, heavy haulers and heavy hitters. More than what your Cooper tires can do, it's about what you can do with your Cooper tires. Life's a road trip. Come on, let's go.
This weekend's forecast may be calling for rain, but a set of Cooper tires can help you handle every road and every road trip.
Okay, time the squeeze at the pump and your wallet, it keeps getting tighter. We're going to let you know what you can do to make a big difference.
All right, we've got an expert live in the plaza. We're heading up there right now.
Need a Living Social account, but sign up is free. Restaurants don't have to pay to join, but Living Social gets a cut of their sales. That's it for us here at CNBC, first in business worldwide. Now back over to you.
All right, Jackie, thank you. The national average for gas is $3.92. It's already over $4 in some states. So everyone wants to know what they can do to their car in order to get more mileage for the gas they're putting into it. Joining us now is Brian Klaubert, who is a certified ASE mechanic, and joining us a little fact or fiction. First, let's start talking about tires here. We know that if your tire is underinflated, no good for the gas. It just
Correct.
sucks it down, right? Now, what about people overinflating their tires?
That's fiction. There's
Okay.
no benefit to overinflating your tire. Once it's at its normal rated pressure, your fuel mileage does not improve, and actually it can become unsafe to overinflate
It
the
can
tire.
be dangerous, right? Can they
It
explode
can.
or something
Yes, they
like that?
can. It can explode. Also, it'll increase your stopping distance and
Okay.
reduce your maneuverability.
Okay, so I'm supposed to ask you fact or fiction about low resistance tires. I never even heard of low resistance tires. What are those?
Well, it's a fact. It's a new category that's coming out. Michelin has one, Goodyear has one, Cooper has one. It's just part of the auto industry trying to improve fuel economy.
What makes them better? What makes them different?
They reformulated the rubber. There's
Okay.
less rolling resistance. The
Okay.
tire itself is about 20% less rolling resistance, and the overall vehicle economy will improve anywhere
Is this
from
one
2
of
to
those
8%.
tires?
This is the Michelin Fuel
Okay.
Saver AS.
Are they more expensive?
You know they are not.
Oh.
Like for Michelin, this is like an entry level tire for Michelin.
Okay. Great.
So it saves money and saves
Maybe
fuel.
we should all do that. What
That's
else
right.
should we all
Yes.
be doing? Brian, let's find out as we
Okay.
head over to the table here. Eric has just a plethora of oil it
Now,
looks like to talk about.
I'm curious here because you go into any auto parts store, you're going to see a whole shelf full of these additives, fuel injection
which-
cleaners, gas treatments. Fact or fiction, are these going to help us out?
That's fiction. You know, any number of testing laboratories have found, you know, something that you buy for $3 or $4 to pour in your tank does nothing to improve your fuel economy.
Can it hurt your gas tank?
No, it really can't. They're not going to harm anything. It's just you won't save any money by doing it.
Okay, so how about synthetic oil? I know nothing about oil. I'm very ignorant. So what is synthetic? As Fish is laughing at me. What is synthetic, non-synthetic? What's the best?
It comes down to the degree of refining that takes place. They both come from the ground.
Okay.
This is our conventional motor oil here, and it gets refined and turned into motor oil. This is highly refined.
Okay.
It actually gets brought into a gas and brought back into an oil, and it changes the molecular structure of the oil, so it reduces friction in the engine.
So synthetic is...
You'll see 2% improvement in fuel economy with synthetic
So it's a
oils.
fact if you
It's
use
a fact.
synthetic.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, now I'm curious. We have a little more time here.
Yes.
What do you think, in your opinion, where's the one place a lot of us go wrong where we're really wasting the most of our fuel economy?
I would say it's with your driving habits. You know, driving too fast, fast stops and starts, things like that. After that, it's going to be not maintaining your car. You know, there's very few things that'll make your mileage more than when it came out of the factory, but there's many people who don't yet get, who no longer get the mileage they got
So
when
driving the speed limit really does give you more bang for your buck?
It does, absolutely.
I
Not
feel
that
like
I ever drive over the speed limit.
it's 7 miles per hour over the limit. That's still okay, right?
Well, it's more about, it's not so much the speed limit as the actual speed. 60 to 65 is the most efficient point for most cars.
All right.
Okay.
When you go 75 miles an hour, EPA says you waste about 25 cents a mile by going 75.
That would certainly add up.
Fish, you just told all the police to watch it. You're 7 miles an hour, still a ticket, buddy.
All right, my license plate is. Here with our update coming up next. Brian Klaubert, thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thank you.
You have dreams.
You want to talk to me though?
Coming up next, the squeeze at the pump and on your wallets, it keeps getting tighter and tighter with gas prices going higher and higher.
That's right. So little things you can do every day to make a big difference. Coming up with our expert on the plaza, so you know how you can improve that fuel economy.
Plus, feeling hungry, you don't have to wait too long to
See, first in business worldwide. Now back over to you.
All right, Jackie, thank you. You know, all morning long we've been talking about gas prices, fuel economy. It's hitting all of us in the wallet equally. So We want to know ways that you can improve this. We've been joined by an expert, Brian Klaubert, all morning from Christian Brothers Automotive.
Okay, so Brian, we got some questions via Twitter, Facebook, email. We want to start off with Mark Dudley. He wants to know if a certified blend of motor oil can make a difference in fuel economy. Fact or fiction?
It's fact.
Okay.
So, the lower the number on the, like this bottle here says 10W30.
Okay.
This is a heavier weight oil. It'll cause more friction in the engine.
Okay.
A 5W20 would be lower friction and give you better mileage.
But what does the difference mean in that anyway? I mean, why would you buy one over the other?
Well, the old school thought was heavy oil was good. It protects things better. That's really not true, but it was a long time ago.
So then why do they still make the heavy oil?
Because some cars call for it. So one of the first things you should do is look at the sticker on your engine.
Okay.
And you want to stay, you don't want to go too much below what the sticker on the engine says, because it can affect the way, especially on modern cars, there's mechanisms in there that are expecting a certain weight of oil.
And sometimes you change the viscosity due to the season, warmer or colder temperatures sometimes, right?
Well, multi-viscosity oils, you don't have to do that.
You don't do that anymore.
No, that's right.
Okay.
So they automatically change their viscosity based on cold versus hot.
Excellent. All right, let's talk about different octane gas. You know, sometimes people, they see the prices. You don't want to pay that extra 30 cents for the high octane. Is there a fuel economy difference, fact or fiction on this?
No, that's another fiction. There's some people that believe that when they buy premium, they're going to get better mileage. That's really not true. People that should use premium, if your sticker on your car,
right?
That's right. You know, if you drive an Acura, Lexus, or Porsche or something like
Fancy
that.
cars.
A fancy car. You know, it's a higher performance engine, and it needs the higher octane simply because of the higher compression in the engine.
I think Steph has a Honda and I have a Nissan.
Yeah, we
so
don't
we're
have
not
that
the fancy
problem.
cars.
So we have another viewer question for you. Han Cross wants to know how much of a difference there is between fuel economy between cars that run on standard factory rims and tires and those on the low profile rims and tires.
Han asked a great question.
Yeah.
Here's the answer. This vehicle came with 15-inch wheels. This is a 17-inch wheel here. If we put this tire on here, the mileage would not change because the tire diameter is the same. But if we got big 22s on this thing and the tire diameter increased, then his mileage would go way down.
So if you want that lift kit, maybe you're going mudding off-road, that's going to really bring
You're
down
going to
mileage.
look good, but you're going to pay more.
How about the air conditioner? Because I feel like this is a debate in everyone's car. Fact or fiction that you lose gas when you have the air on?
It's fiction, all right? The windage that is created by having the windows down offsets for what would be used by the air conditioner. So, you know, the only thing that is true about that is in the winter, don't use your air conditioner because it would use some
And the
gas.
windows down gives you more drag, is that why?
Windows down gives you more drag. Correct.
Brian Klaubert, thanks so much for being here this morning.
thank
Some
you
great
for having
tips.
me.
I'm learning
So
something.
much. Trust me, I learned a ton because I know how to change a tire, by the way. Someone asked me on Twitter. I was like, I can get dirty. I've changed a couple in my life. So what? I don't know about fuel injection, all this stuff. I can change a tire.
And if you want to put the 22s on your Honda, then you know it's going to cost you something.
I'm not
I would
that
actually
cool.
pay to see that.
I'm not that
All right, Brian's going to be here for one more hour. If you have any more questions, you can send them in to us on Twitter or Facebook. In the meantime, we're talking severe storms.
Yes, that's coming up. But first, we have your local on the 8th.